What's up everybody, Shawnee Sham Anime here, and on today's video we're going to be reviewing One Piece chapter 1002. I know I wasn't here last week for chapter 1001, little COVID stuff going on. I didn't get it though, lucky me, I'm straight. I'm back posting weekly content, and this chapter was quick as hell. I'm a little pissed because I've been waiting 2 weeks and this chapter was like bing, bang, boom, and done. And I mean, yeah, I'm a little mad at it, but I'm not too mad because this chapter was just action-packed from beginning to end, as was chapter 1001. And when you give me 2 chapters straight like that, how could I ever be mad at you, Oda? You've been killing it. Keep it going. But we're going to get straight into chapter 1002, just like Oda did with the action in this chapter. And wow, this chapter starts off with a bang. I love how Oda's giving us a little bit of some power scaling going on. You know, Kaido starts off the chapter with his, like, wind scythe gusts. The same wind scythe gusts that basically took out all of the scabbards with ease. Like, chopped off Kiku's arm like nothing. And each of the worst generation kind of tanks it in one way or another. We see Kid literally tank it. Like, they hit him and he's like, yeah, that's just scrap metal. Don't worry about it. And Kid, I didn't even get to speak on it. But Kid's, like, punk rotten, punk, like, his whole trash, like, scrap metal, like, guy is sick. I love the design. I love how cool it is. And I love how it has that punk thing. And I love how Kid has that punk feel. Like, he's like, yeah, like, and I feel like that whole, like, armor thing kind of goes along with him. And I really enjoy it. Really, really liked it. But we see Law, he kind of dodges one. Zoro just flicks it off with his sword, which was dope. Dope little Zoro moment there. And Luffy dodges it, and as soon as he dodges it, comes right back with a freaking rifle right to Kaido's face. And the action does not stop there. Like, this chapter just continuously action, action, action. Next panel, next panel, next panel. Big, huge 2-page spreads, like, the whole 9. Oda brings out all of the action in this chapter, and those are just the chapters that kind of, like, that's why this chapter felt so quick, because it was bang, 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 thing right after, like, attack after attack, and all these 2-page spreads, and they just kind of, like, blew me away. Like, next thing I knew, I was done with the chapter. But in this chapter, we see a few different views, I guess, of Luffy, and I kind of want to talk a little bit about it, because I don't know if it's just the way that Oda's drawing him, or just the way that he looks next to Kaido and Big Mom, being that they're such big characters. But he looks a little slimmer in his Gear 4, and his hair is kind of a little more flowy. So I don't know if Luffy's kind of like putting his Gear 4 Bounce Man and Snake Man together. It's just a little bit of theorization. Like, you know, the way that he's using the form, it feels like he's using multiple different parts of the form in this one thing. So who knows, maybe it could be like a connection between the two, but we're gonna throw that out the window. And right after Luffy uses his rifle, we kind of see some teamwork going on from the worst generation. And the title of this chapter was The Worst Generation versus the 4 Emperors. And you just kind of, like, you like to see all of them versus each other, you know what I mean? It's not one on one. Like, this is the 5 of them versus the 2 emperors. It was a team fight. We saw after Luffy used the rifle, oh my god, this was dope. I love Kid. Kid's like one of my favorite characters now. He pulls out like a suplex and throws Kaido into the ground. Great attack. You know, they're all doing their own damage. And then Law pulls up with his gamma knife. And finally, like, we've been waiting for this. And they're definitely doing some damage to Kaido, but they're not doing any damage to Big Mom. And as we saw early on in the chapter, Oda does not put things in the chapter for no reason. There's the clouds are forming above them, and Killer runs up Kaido with this dope attack, and he's like, yo, these scales are like really causing a problem for us. And he comes out of nowhere, and he uses this, I can't even remember what it's called, but, and slices right through him. And I love the panels where Killer was just like running on Kaido, because it shows you that he's much smaller than him, and he still does some damage. And right after that, Big Mom comes out of nowhere. Indra, electricity right down onto Killer, and we see Kid's like, no, kill her, like, and Kaido's literally about to eat him right there. And Kaido's literally about to eat him right there, and he basically says they're not relying on guts. They're actually coming up with a strategy and actually trying to fight me. It's not just their guts. They're not just going at me because they have to. And we'll get back to this later on. Luffy comes out of nowhere, saves Killer with a Rhino Schneider, and then Zoro yells at Law yet again. I'm loving this whole little like stick with Law, and Law's like, don't tell me what to do, but Zoro like tells him, throw me up there, and that's what he does. He throws him up there. Flame Rend protects Luffy with the sword, and Luffy's like, Zoro, like, thank you. And man, that you just love to see like the combination. Like they're attacking as a team. They're using each other's attacks and defenses to basically continue attacking and continue doing damage. And that's what I think they're going to need to do. They're going to need to attack as a team. They're going to need to fight together if they want to have any chance of basically coming out of this alive. Because the way that it's looking right now, Luffy's the only one who can do damage to them and to do damage to Kaido. And we really see that. Zoro comes up after he saves Luffy, and we finally get to see Oden's sword get put to good use. And it's clear that Oden's sword has this like this aura to it. Like it feels strong, obviously, because Zoro uses it and Kaido realizes it right away. Big Mom realizes it right away. And Zoro actually misses after Big Mom tells Kaido to get out of the way. And in the air, caught in the air, like you can see, like this attack kind of took a lot out of him. I think he's really gonna have to get used to Enma. Like I don't think Enma's gonna be like this instant power up. Like he's gonna need more fights. He's gonna need to get a little stronger before he can noticeably do some actual damage to Kaido. Like they might have to come up with a plan for him to beat Kaido. Now, right after he misses, here comes Big Mom with another lightning strike. Boom, zaps Zoro. Boom, zaps Luffy. But we notice all too well, Luffy has got the electricity on lock. He says, nope, I'm made out of rubber. Senkaido's like, alright, you're made out of rubber? Rubber can burn. Blows out a blast breath right at Luffy. And as we saw, apparently we were spoiled in the anime. Luffy just eats this. I don't know if it was with hockey or just plain guts, because that's what he did. And I love how Luffy, like, references that. He's like, no, screw you. We are going to fight you with guts. Like, guts are important, too. So he eats the Flame Rend, and he pulls out a freaking Gatling. Kong Gatling, straight to the face. Bop, 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 bop. Right into Kaido's face. And that's the end of the chapter. Like I said, just like that, the chapter's over. This chapter was incredible. Banger panel after banger panel. I mean, action was the entirety of the chapter. There was only action in this chapter. And I don't know if we're going to continue to see that, but I really hope we do. I would be so happy if just we get like 5 or 6 more chapters of this in a row, straight fighting, because that's all we want to see. That's what we've been waiting for so long. Like, this chapter was, a lot went down, and we've kind of been able to power scale the characters a little bit more and get kind of a gauge of where each of them is at in relation to Kaido and Big Mom. And it's obvious that the worst generation is gonna have to pay attention to Big Mom a little bit. I know their fight is with Kaido, and I know like it's Wano and they're all here to fight Kaido, but like you gotta pay attention to Big Mom. She's still a Yonko. And she's still one of the most powerful characters in the entire series. And if you don't, she's going to burn you, just like she did in this chapter. And I think the way that it's going, like, Kaido's tanking all these hits. Yes, they're still doing a little bit of damage, but they are tanking the hits. And Big Mom's kind of staying clear. So if this creates some, like, tension between Big Mom and Kaido, you know, we don't know. It's going to be different to see. We're going to have to... I'd just like to see them kind of pay more attention to Big Mom, put some attacks on Big Mom, because right now they're only really focusing on Kaido. But obviously the fight is far from over. Like, we saw this Kong Gatling. We've yet to see Kaido in his hybrid form. I just think there's so much more. Like, I think Luffy might have some more in him. I don't know. I hope Zoro and Kid definitely do. I hope that's not the end of Killer too, because I feel like Killer got a really dope moment in this chapter. But we're just going to have to see. We're going to have to see how much damage Big Mom's attacks do. and how they're gonna kind of account for her on the battlefield. Like, she's doing damage, she's controlling the entire battlefield right now, and basically making sure that they have no openings. And you also get to see that she knows how to fight. She's finding the weaknesses, she's finding the key opportunities to strike, and she's doing damage. She's basically already took out 2 or 3 of them. So we'll have to see. They're going to have to come up with a plan for Big Mom. But as you know, like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more One Piece content. We're going to be doing One Piece chapter reviews week in and week out again. As you know, Shawnee Sham Anime, out.